All right, should be recording. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
America,
the Republic,
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
God, indivisible,
justice.
with liberty, justice for all.
All right, you may be seated. All right, first order of business is to open up a public hearing on proposed annexation agreements with owners seeking to annex property with tax identification number 1611179-007 and PIN number 16-11179-006, commonly known as 115 North Murphy Road, Anna City. Also property number 16-05-100-009, commonly known as 16216 West Summerfield Road, and PIN number 12-33-100-002, commonly known as 2830 North Eden Road, Hannah City, and also a annual appropriations ordinance. I will entertain a motion to open up our public hearing. Motion by Hoopengarner, second by Weaver. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, same. Motion carried. All right. Would anyone like to speak to either one of those issues of the annexations or our appropriations hearing? Hearing no comments, I will entertain a motion to close our public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Frixell, second by Hoopengarner. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next item on our agenda is a recognition of guests. Danny Pearson, you're the first one up. Would you like to address the board?
I have nothing, just listening in. Thank you.
All right. And Mindy Fitch, would you like to address the board?
I would just like to talk about our traffic on 2nd and 1st Street, and even some concerns from people on 3rd, but they're not able to be on. I did talk to Tony about this, and Tony, I don't know, have you mentioned anything to them about that?
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's more, no one's, we just feel that the traffic is going to increase with the coffee shop. No one's against any means. We're all actually kind of excited to have some coffee, and we've spoken to Ron, and we've gone over some things. But there's also the concern with the semis and of kind of getting the semis rerouted to not come up 2nd Street. I literally can feel my house shake when the semis come by, and I've just never logged on to come to a meeting to talk about it, so that's why I'm here.
Okay. Just a quick question for you. Currently, how many semis do you have going up 1st, 2nd, or 3rd Street every day?
There's usually one semi that does come up 2nd Street almost daily, and it doesn't matter if he's empty or full. I can feel everything in my house kind of just shake, and I just didn't know if there was a way to reroute that traffic to where maybe they came down Main Street. They would have to do something at the corner of Hannah and 1st down there by where the EMS, I believe, shop is for the semis to make the turn.
Okay. All right. Jason, looks like you came back in. Do you have some comments for us? And if so, I need your name and address, please.
I don't have any comments, but my name's Jason Fuller, and my address is 304 North Lakeshore Drive. Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself earlier.
Okay, that's fine.
Just to observe.
Okay, are you here just to observe, or did you have a comment for the board?
I do not have a comment.
All right, very good. All right, does any of the board members have any comments for the people who are brought the issue of the traffic on First, Second, and Third Streets?
Well, Fred, this is Tony. I've brought this up. We know the issues we've had on Second Street, not only with just with the semis, I brought that up before, but also with the amount of traffic that we get down Second Street. Second Street alone, we have over 18 children, from as young as, babies on up to high schoolers that aren't driving or out and about. And the traffic has been, let's say, at times down at the corner of Second and Hannah, where the bus stop is, has been fairly busy. My daughter was almost hit at one point down there. So, yeah, I think, and then having semis trying to come through there when parents are trying to drop off, and coming down that road, I tried to bring it up to try to have Brandon try to look at it to see, if that road's even really rated for all that semi traffic, which I'm not really sure. I don't remember what the findings were on that, just because of the roadway. But yeah, the semis seem to be more and more all the time now. And I know with EMS coming in, they're going to be having some semis too probably come in. So I know it's a straight shot to the businesses, which is, great. We want those businesses in town. But we also have to look for our residential area to, have a little safety and concern there too.
All right, any other comments?
So is the issue semis or traffic in general?
I can comment on that if I can.
Go ahead.
It's kind of traffic in general. I mean, to kind of start small, it would be addressing the semi-traffic because that is kind of a concern to quite a few of us. And it is going to increase, with EMS, which, we're all very happy that they're there as well. In something that I had kind of crossed my mind in all of this was the possibility of turning First, Second, and Third Street into dead ends at the 116 side. It would give all of the businesses more parking. It would give us back more of the residential small town feel that a lot of us did move out here for. And it was just an idea. I don't know how anything like that could happen, but that was the other comment that I did want to make, and it to address the traffic in general, not just the semis.
The issue you run into when you dead end longer residential streets like that are already very narrow is there's no room for emergency vehicles to turn around at the end, and you only have one way in and out. That's usually frowned upon without some sort of cul-de-sac or something to allow for vehicles, garbage trucks, school buses, whatever, fire trucks, anything to turn around at the end. You're into bad situations where they get down one way and their only route out is to back out completely.
And I can completely agree with you. I was on Limestone's fire department, and trust you me, I know how difficult it can be to back up a brush truck, let alone an engine. But unfortunately, there were those roads in our district, and we didn't just not go. We just had to figure out how to get out.
Oh, yeah.
And not trying to sound disrespectful in that by any means. But, with doing something like that, I mean, you would just have to incorporate somehow to make a turnabout. Now, the buses do not come down First, Second, and Third Street. The kids are picked up at the ends of First, Second, and Third at Hannah. So the buses wouldn't be an issue at all. It would just be a matter of the fire trucks.
All
Well,
right.
and I guess for garbage on Second Street, because we don't have an alley to put our garbage in like everybody else.
Right. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right.
Is this where we would talk about meeting around over there right now?
You can make a comment if you want. It's on our agenda to be discussing under, I think, planning or someplace like that. But if you'd like to make a comment, you can. No.
Mindy, Gary?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Met with Brad at EMS, met with Ron, which is in charge of those streets over there. If we can do something, I doubt very much you're gonna get a dead end on any of the streets down there, but if we can do something as an ease pain of the traffic, rerouting the semis and or maybe all of the employees that will be at EMS and or the welding shop, is that sufficient and a start?
It's absolutely a start.
Okay. Because we did look at rerouting them down Main Street, coming down Hannah and then Blacktop, making them curtain. They can't turn that corner right now. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Got to make those corners bigger. The other thing is if you would talk, asking the board for lowering, put a speed limit sign. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know the rules, but it's a suggestion.
Yeah. Well, there were some children, watch for children signs out there. You know, I mean, and signs are what they are. You know, we're all guilty at some point, I'm sure, of not seeing one. But I mean, we can put up as many signs as possible, and you know, we could even try that too.
You know, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but unfortunately, the streets are made for cars. So whatever way, we need to slow them down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I don't disagree with that either. It's just, I mean, and like someone had mentioned earlier, the roads are very narrow and, you know, there's cars that park on the side of the road. So it just makes it even that much more difficult. But yeah, I mean, I think that your suggestions are a very good start.
Okie dokie, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments? right.
Yeah, this is Danny Pearson.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I understand that the roads are for cars. I totally agree. But the problem is with the traffic that we already have on 2nd Street, it's used as a drag strip. So I understand that roads are for cars, but they're not to go 60 mile an hour in a quarter-mile stretch.
That's definitely something we need to get the sheriff's department to look at then and
Yeah.
patrol it.
If you're having cars driving 60 miles an hour in that 2-block stretch, you definitely need to be calling the Peoria County Sheriff's Office and reporting them.
I agree. I'm sorry. That's just my main concern.
Sure.
Valid.
And we pay Peoria County Sheriff's Office a lot of money to patrol our streets. So if you see traffic like that happening, please call them.
I will do. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments from our guests? All right. If not, we'll go to item number 4 on our agenda, approval of our minutes from our June 2nd, 2020 meeting. Do I have,
Motion, we accept.
I have a motion by Johnson to accept our minutes, a second by Weaver. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried, all ayes. Down to approval of the treasurer's report. You should have that in front of you or should have received it by email. Give you a minute to take a look at that to see if you have any questions. No questions. I will entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report, pay all outstanding bills. Motion-
Second.
Motion by Hoopengarner, second by Frixell. Further discussion? Roll call it.
Yes.
Yes by Hoopengarner, yes by Johnson, yes by Steer.
Yes.
Is a yes. Gates?
Yes.
Yes. Weaver, yes. Motion carried. All right, engineers report. Brandon, would you like to address the board?
Yeah, really briefly, thank you very much. I don't have anything specific to report other than yesterday we were able to have a kickoff for the water tower planning study that was authorized by the board at the last meeting. Thank the mayor and the trustees that were able to attend. Jim was there as well. I thought it was a very valuable meeting. We drank from the fire hose, to use a bad pun. We went through a lot of information to go very quickly. I think the only comment I would make, Fred, is that, you know, we towed the line from water tower and making sure we make smart decisions about how to plan for the proper size water tower and the distribution system. And that's not an easy place to decouple. They go hand in hand, but it's easy to start thinking about what improvements do we need to make to our distribution system. And I just wanted to clarify that's kind of another animal to get much beyond the tower itself. It was great discussion. I think that's maybe a future thing to talk about, like we spoke a couple meetings ago about infrastructure planning as a whole, your water system. We learned a lot. We're gonna make smart decisions, and I believe that the project that you might do should take into account some upgrades of your water distribution system, so that any new tower that you design and build is at least as efficient as it can be, given your system to begin with. We would hate to be short-sighted. So I just wanted to make that comment. I thought it was a great kickoff. We've got great information, a lot to do, and thank you for providing the data that you did, and I know you will. But this is an exciting time for us to take the next step, and I appreciate the meeting yesterday. So that was the only report I really had, Fred. I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like me to discuss.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Brandon? They are proceeding on our infrastructure study. I agree with Brandon. There was a lot of information given at our meeting. Jim worked with the Farnsworth guys to look at the site that we are looking at, just make sure that it would fit there. There'll be some borings and things done to make sure that geologically it's able to go there, but they are moving forward. All right, if you could just stick around for a little bit, Brandon, I appreciate it.
Happy to, thank you.
All right. Patrick, you're up. Attorney's report.
Okay, if you can all hear me, we've got a few things on there. The resolution extending the emergency powers. That's something that's happened for the last few months. If you've got a copy of it there, I think the board will need to extend it if that's something they wish to do. Seem to be some changes going on right now with the COVID response, but I think it's still early. So if you feel those powers are necessary, it's just something to renew.
Right. This would be in reference to the resolution restoring temporary executive powers pursuant to ILC or 65 ILCS 5-11-1-6. Again, we are still under the governor's executive orders, and this allows us to piggyback off of those for the next 30 days or until our next meeting. So this would be resolution number 2020-06-03. Resolution extending those orders.
Make a motion, we approve the extended orders.
Got a motion by Hoopengarner,
Second.
by Weaver. Any further discussion? Roll call it.
Yes.
Johnson's yes, Steer yes, Frixell
Yes.
yes, Gates
Yes.
Gates is yes. Weaver, yes. Hoopengarner?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Also in your packet, we've got ordinance regarding chickens within the village limits. You guys should have a copy of that ordinance. Does anyone have any questions or concern? First off, I guess we'll need a motion to approve. This would be ordinance number 06 dash 0, I'm sorry. Dash 02. I've got a motion by Johnson to approve the ordinance. Do I have a second? Second by Steer. You guys should have a copy of that ordinance with you. Does anyone have any?
No more than 600 per house.
Any further discussion on this ordinance? This is what we talked about at our last meeting. Kind of showed you a draft copy of it. We have now codified it, so this is what will be in our ordinance if it is passed. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call. Steer?
Yes.
Fritzell? Gates?
Yes.
Weaver? Hoopengarner?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. That was 20-06-02 for that ordinance. Also in your packets should be an ordinance establishing a tax increment finance district for the interested parties. Do you have a copy of that ordinance? That would be ordinance number 20-06-03, an ordinance authorizing the establishment of a tax increment financing interested parties registry. And you should have that information in front of you. Do I have a motion to approve such an ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Fritzell. Second by Steer. Any discussion on this ordinance? Basically, what this is before we can establish a TIF district, we have to notify the people that are interested parties to the TIF district. So all of the parcels of land that are involved in the TIF district will get notified that they can register their property in reference to the TIF district. All right. Hearing no other questions, roll call. Fritzell
Yes.
is a yes. Gates is a yes. Weaver? A yes. Hoopengarner is a yes.
Yes.
Johnson is a yes. Steer
Yes.
is a yes. Motion carries. The other thing that we need to read and notify people of is that Village of Hannah City proposed TIF district will be holding a public meeting. The public meeting will be held at the Village Hall on Tuesday, July 21st at 6 p.m. This meeting can be joined via Zoom or in person. And the purpose of the meeting is to enable the village to advise the public taxing districts having real property in the redevelopment project area, taxpayers who own property in the redevelopment project area, and residents in the area as to the village's possible intent to prepare a redevelopment plan and designate a redevelopment project area and to receive public comment. So it's giving a notice that we will be holding a public hearing on July 21st at 6 p.m. before our regularly scheduled city council meeting, and we will take comments at that time. Appropriations ordinance. Patrick, are you still there?
I'm still here.
We passed this out last time at our last meeting, and we had it available for public viewing as required by law. So at this time, where are we up to? 20, this would be ordinance number 20-06-04. I guess we do, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, so this would be ordinance number 20-06-04. Am I still okay on my numbers? All right. This is our 2020 to 2021 annual appropriations ordinance, which was passed out and given for review. Showing $481,350 appropriated for the coming fiscal year. I'll entertain a motion to approve such ordinance. Motion by Hoopengarner. Do I have a second? Second by Weaver. Any further discussion? Okay, Mr. Gates.
Yes.
Gates, yes. Weaver. Yes. Hoopengarner.
Yes.
Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Is a yes. Steer.
Yes.
And Frixell.
Yes.
All ayes, motion carries. Oop, and that was under your.
That's okay.
All right, let's go to our committee
Did
reports.
Patrick have anything else?
Oh, Patrick, did you have anything else for us? I know we've got a lot of the annexations coming up later, but
Yeah, the annexations and then the update on the ordinance violations, but that's really, we'll just handle that as it comes.
all right, very good, thank you. All right, finance.
The only thing that I have is Lori and I did go to the bank today and we did transfer $35,000 from money market to the general fund to help pay for our TIF
Obligations.
money that's going to be coming out this week for $85,000. We had already transferred 50 previously before approved the 85 at one of the other meetings after that. So we balanced that out.
So that money, that TIF money has been
And that has been wired today.
put in the escrow in reference to the TIF agreement that was signed.
And we had a bill that we received from Farnsworth, which we just received today, so it wasn't on the warrant list. That was for work that Farnsworth is doing for us in regards to the BDD. And when we looked through our minutes, we did see that we did agree for Farnsworth to do that and that we were going to have some numbers at the next meeting. We never did get those numbers yet. So I don't know if that's something that we need to put on the agenda for the meeting to do so that we can pay that. That's something.
Yeah, I thought they were doing that for Jacob Klein.
We
They,
have to pay it.
right. Jacob and Klein is working with us on the TIF district, but this is one of the expenses that we'll pay and then get reimbursed from the TIF district. So all of that, the 85,000 that was approved on the program previously is reimbursable by the TIF funds, and this money that was done by Farnsworth for the 2 maps that had to be the legal description of all 600 and some properties. They had,
And we did agree, and when we went through the minutes and looked, we did agree for Farnsworth to do that work, because we could do that. But, you know, I don't know if it was, because there were so many things that night too, that Brandon said he was gonna bring us back figures, which he did bring us back figures on the water tower, but we didn't get figures on what that was gonna cost for that, the BDD and TIF, that was the mapping for that. And
yes.
I don't know if that's something that we put on
Uh,
for our minutes, that we approved that amount.
Patrick, can you give us a little guidance here? Is this something that we can go ahead and vote on to approve the Farnsworth bill for the mapping?
Yeah, I believe you can approve that expenditure. I know it was discussed previously. You know, at this point, I think it's ratifying the actions and paying for the work done.
We agreed for them to do that.
Yes. All right. So we just need approval to pay the Farnsworth invoice in the amount of 9,000. You have that
I
there?
don't have the
Lori, could you bring us that number, please?
It will be on the
Warrant list.
warrant list for the next meeting. It won't be on.
Right.
I thought we'd have to have it on the agenda first, so.
It was already approved to do it. We just didn't have a figure at that
Right.
time, so. The 9,000.
$9,927.25.
All right, so got a motion to approve the invoice from Farnsworth for the legal descriptions of the TIF and BDD maps to establish our TIF and BDD districts. Do I have a second? Second by Steer. Again, this money is reimbursable through our TIF funds. We just have to keep track of all that money.
Yeah, and another thing we'll have to be doing in the future is opening up a separate account just for TIF and just, I don't know if we have to do it for BDD, but definitely for TIF. Because when we start having money coming in, we don't want that to be coming into the general fund.
Right.
It'll need to come into something separately. So that's something that we'll need to look at in the future here when we start getting funds coming in, is opening up that separate account for that.
Is that the legals for both the BDD and the TIF?
Yes, both,
So that's all.
and they're different. Yeah.
Yeah, both legals and both exhibits then
Yes.
to go in there. Okay.
Everything
So
is done.
everything's with that.
Right. Everything in reference to the TIF and BDD should be done now. We've got a timeline. I think I put that in your packets there that kind of shows where we are on that. And if everything continues on this timeline, it should be established in October. All right. Do I have a second? I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call it. Weaver is a yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner's yes. Johnson?
Yes.
Yes. Steer is yes. Frixell?
Yes.
Yes. Gates
Yes.
is a yes. All right, motion carried. For us under
Yeah, I
finance.
think that's done.
Okay. All right. Todd, do you have anything for us on their sewers?
You head down there to vote on The $17,000 for the lagoons.
Yeah. The, we had a little, we talked about this at our last meeting in reference to our sand filters, the 4 sand filters at the sewer lagoon that have not been anything done to them since they were installed back in the 60s. So they need refurbishing. We found a company that will come in and clean them instead of tearing them all up and having to redo each of the sand filters. We had that proposal to you last meeting, and there was a difference of opinion the way that the proposal was written. And so Jim is recommending that we do all 4 for the price of $16,000 plus the sand, the 626 tons of sand that is required to put 4 inches of sand in each of those filters before the cleaning, so that when they clean it, the new sand will be cleaned also. And it should allow our sand filters to get back to the capacity of draining that they were previously. So to do all 4, it would be approximately $31,000. The sand is coming from Lakin, and it's $11.25 a ton, and then the hauling charges are another $11.20 or something a ton. Total of $22.40, I think, per ton to haul it here. So we're looking at
$11.25.
yes. So we're looking at approximately $31,000 to do all 4. The way that this proposal was written, it looks like he would charge us $4,000 a piece if we did them all 4 at once. If we did them separately, they're $9,000 a piece. So that's quite a difference. And so I think last time we talked about just doing 2 at a time, but we would save ourselves considerable money if we just go ahead and do all 4 of them, since they all 4 need cleaning.
Yeah, we thought it was 9,000
For the 2.
but he says no, it's 9,000 for one.
That's what Jim told us. Yeah. So
Yeah, it didn't read that way in the proposal.
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it read 9,500, I think it was, for the 2 of them.
Yeah, but it says if done 2 at a time, $9,000. But Jim said that he checked with the guy and was told it was 9,000 a piece. So he said they just left out the word each in there. But
Mobilization costs must be crazy now.
so yeah, I mean, it's a difference. If we do 2 of them, even if it is 9,000, you're still talking 25,000 to do 2, where we can get all 4 of them done for 31. So it makes more sense to get all 4 of them done, because they all 4 need to be done anyway. Any further discussion on that? All right, so that's a motion from Gates to approve not to exceed $31,000 on our 4 sand filter. Do I have a
Second.
A second by Frixell. Any further discussion? Roll call it. Hoopengarner is yes. Johnson
Yes.
is a yes. Steer
Yes.
is a yes. Frixell
Yes.
is a yes. Gates
Yes.
is a yes. Cleaver is a yes. All right, motion carried. We will proceed with that. Anything else under sewers?
Nope, that was it.
All right, streets and alleys.
We talked
Looks like the best solution would be to direct the semis down Main Street, turn on Hannah Street, and then we'd have to do the intersection on the south side of Hannah second.
Do we have room there to do that? Do you know?
We do.
All right. All right. So what Rod is suggesting is that if we establish a truck route to send the trucks off of Route 116 onto Main Street to Hannah Street, and then have them make a left-hand turn onto Second Street, we would have to widen that intersection there. But that would keep the semi trucks off of our smaller city streets.
Yeah, probably. But while we're doing it, we might as well do the other side too, so that they can go off that blacktop.
Or if they're coming in from west or blacktop, yeah, makes sense. Just build that whole end of it out there.
Right.
Yeah.
No light poles or anything right there on either side.
There's a light pole on the west side. We'll be encroaching on it, but it wouldn't be any closer than we are on the north side.
Any other discussion on this? Questions or concerns?
There is, it is the high point of the road right there, so there's no culvert that we have to deal with. So that makes it pretty simple, just core it out and put some blacktop in there.
Is it something that our guys can do? You don't have to hire?
No, we'll probably have to get a small blacktop company to.
They could probably pour it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pour it out.
Prep it.
I think they've got.
Here we go, core it out and everything for the binder. You've got 8 inches of rock. You're ready to off the street and do that. It would save you a lot of money if you guys dug it out and got rid of your dirt, threw it over in the lot, and rock it. You just come up with it. Find it.
You probably do, so.
Yeah, he's a couple, $3,000 doing it all.
Does he even get the real labor though?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing.
Yeah.
Yep, he's willing to do that.
But I think this get a dollar limit on that.
It's based on what's done.
Is it?
Yeah. Versus service versus maintenance. It's kind of.
All right, why don't we proceed in that fashion? We'll have Rod kind of take the lead on that as far as seeing what we need to do to widen that intersection and move forward with getting some signs and establishing a truck route to keep the trucks off of the city streets.
Take them down that way one morning and have them turn and paint where their tracks.
Yep, that might work.
Somebody said he'd run it over and run it down.
Yeah.
All right, any other thoughts or comments on that?
That they're. What about speed bumps? Is that something that's even an option on?
Terrible maintenance problems
Are they?
and plowing problems.
Yeah.
They make a tough one, yeah. The one concern with the last cut.
Seems really.
Big sign, coffee can traffic that way. So they just go up to 116.
Is your entrance and exit gonna be on second and third, or is
Exit
it
will be on first.
on first?
Yeah, entrance on
Yeah.
second, come through, and exit back out on.
So almost
So,
all of the
you know,
traffic is
30
gonna
feet
be,
to 50 feet.
is on
When you do-
Farmington Road.
When you do this though, is it going to be one way in, one way out?
Drive-through,
Yeah, one way
Okay.
in, one way out, so that they can't,
that is correct. Drive-throughs are one way. So it'll be 2 lanes on the back of the building. Coming straight through and then back.
once they're coming out, then people can't be coming in at all.
Not in the drive-through, where they'll come in the lot, if you're gonna come sit and what have you, there are 2 entrances. The house has an entrance and then the lot itself has an entrance side by side, right smack in the middle. So that's where they'll be coming into these, if we ever get to a point that you can go in.
So you don't foresee a problem with it people being able to come in the same way that they're coming
It's
out?
not this, you know, so when you leave, if this is the building and you're gonna, here's the highway and this is the building, the traffic flow would come out onto the street and down the highway. If these people are coming in, they're gonna be coming in the front of the building. So the incoming will be in the front, the outgoing will be in the back. So that traffic never has to crisscross.
And there's a building there
I
that they
got you.
can't.
Yeah.
One of the things that I would think would be a good idea too is when you've got them exiting out from that drive-through, a sign there saying no right turn. They have to turn left so that they're going out 116. No right
I got
turn.
no problem with it.
That doesn't mean everybody will do it, but
Yeah.
it might,
What's the advantage of it?
they're not going through.
Why would it? I
Down
mean,
the
I don't think
street.
many people are gonna go. If I live down that street and I'm leaving that coffee shop, I'm just gonna turn right into my house. I'm not gonna
If I
drive
was-
all the way around the block to go to my house. And if I'm going to work in Peoria, like 99% of these people will be, I'm not gonna want to turn back into Hannah City anyway. The only people who are gonna cause problems for us are residents, in my opinion.
Can you change speed limits on our street?
They're 25 right
But
now.
25 through town, you can't really drop that.
Yeah.
You can't drop that.
I mean, I guess you could. You can make it whatever you want, but 25 is
So
standard or slower than standard for.
on a business, because I know there's a couple on Third Street when the people leave the bar. And I don't really know easy way to word this, but you go in there and you have a few drinks, you got loud pipes in your car, and you want to see how far you can spin your tires, and they take off up Third Street.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
need to
you don't
call the
hit one,
sheriff.
you don't
That's why
hit-
we pay the sheriff for.
And if
I mean,
you got-
Correct.
And if you got loud pipes, it sounds like you're going faster than what you are anyway.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying if maybe it was lowered to 20 on them streets on a business going back and just
Yeah.
post it. And maybe another sign that said no through street. You
It
can't,
isn't.
you can't stop the traffic. They're gonna go.
No. I mean, cars are gonna drive on those roads.
Yeah, but put a warning up there.
They're
I
gonna
mean-
go as fast as they wanna go anyway, so you either get the cops out there and get them for going 20 or 25.
Yeah, I mean, the 5 mile an hour gonna make a difference. I mean,
Cops aren't gonna stop them for that.
the sheriff is gonna be, you know.
I think the
drag
main
racing
thing,
Stuff is something you can call the sheriff and say it's happening at this time of night. You
Yeah.
know, give them something they can work off of and, you know.
I think the main thing is we do need to get some good signage up there and try to limit the amount of traffic on our city streets by establishing that truck route,
Yeah.
make some signs up, and get the traffic pattern off of our
The
city
truck route's
streets.
a great idea, because Second Street's not made for semi-traffic. I mean, just
Right.
to see
I'm not even sure we got 25 mile an hour speed limit signs on the side streets either. So people
No,
know.
why not? It's just
Right.
an ordinance that it's,
No, I.
Most
That
times
that
don't.
would help, that
I
would
didn't
help
know.
there in Second Street if we could put a 25 mile an hour.
Right.
yeah.
And we can get some signs and put them up. That way it'll be something else for the kids to steal. So,
Yeah, our
Is
sign's
that what happened to the other
gone.
ones? Just stole them?
yeah, kids have stolen them.
Our sign's gone.
So.
But yeah, the truck route's a good idea.
All right, so for those that were listening, do you have any comments for the board? Now that you've heard our discussion and what our plans are?
It's Mindy. I think that the signs and the lower speed limit is a good start and kind of see where that goes and definitely getting the semi-traffic off. So I just want to say thank you.
All right. Anyone else have a comment before we move on?
I agree with what Mindy said. This is Danny. I just think that maybe we should try to figure out what the problem areas in Hannah City is and try to have the cops concentrate on that just a little more, because you can put up whatever signs you want, but people are going to do what they want to do when they know there's no cops around. So maybe just kind of figure out where the trouble areas are and try to get the county cops to post up there a little more. Thank you.
I agree 100%. The only way that's gonna happen is if the citizens on those streets that are there all the time make those calls and tell them what times their problems, because people on those streets are the ones that know that, hey, 9:30 every night when somebody leaves the bar or leaves this place, they always drag race down the street. I mean, the board or nobody who works for the city is going to have that detailed of information like the residents will. That's why the residents have to call the sheriff and tell them, hey, we know this is an issue and we can give you the times that it's happening every night. And that way they can target their patrol, and get something done. So.
And this is Mindy. I don't disagree with that at all. Unfortunately, it is usually all day long, and we would never want to be a nuisance and be the people that cry wolf by any means. But it is pretty much every single car that kind of comes up and down the street. And it could be too, because we know we have kids. We teach our kids not to play in the street, but we are standing still and they are driving. We don't have speedometers, but most of the time, I mean, they're hitting 30.
Bottom line is you just got to call them though. I mean, Fred said, but the mayor said, we write the county a check every year for extra patrol time in town. So we get more than just the pass through. I mean, they sit in town a certain amount of hours a week. They can come sit, there's enough complaints in that street, they'll come sit there instead of someplace else and, make some presence known. But you got to call the sheriff. I mean,
and we will also contact the sheriff's office and tell them about your concerns and see if they can't spend some more time there. So.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you. That would be wonderful.
All righty.
You guys need to call also.
Yep.
Yes, we will.
All right. Hearing no other comments, we're going to move on. Police and planning.
The first thing's the fireworks.
Nothing.
All right, no movement on that, so we'll skip that, same as always, or same as last time. And then we're getting into all these ordinances.
Okay.
Anything else besides, there's nothing else besides ordinances, so I guess we'll just get to the
All right. This is going to take us about a half an hour because we have a lot of ordinances to go through here. So
the first one's Murphy Road.
Yeah.
So everybody knows what happened on Murphy Road.
All right.
We only annexed one of their two pieces of property, and then the county didn't even have the right one ordinance. I was looking at one after one of our Zoom meetings, and we went back and dug out some of the paperwork, and we annexed the address with one PIN number, which did not get the other piece of property, which had a separate PIN. And then when it went to the county flip-flopped that and only put one of them inside the village limits, which is the one we didn't vote on, and left the other one out. So nothing ended up correct out of that entire sequence, basically. Which is, I think, why we're doing both their pins again entirely fresh to make sure it's right. Yeah.
So we are going to go through these. I gave you just the front copy of all of these ordinances. We'll have about 20 of them to go through and approve here. First one is going to be ordinance number 20-06-05, an ordinance authorizing the entry into an annexation agreement for the OPM Realty Investment LLC property with PIN number 16-11-179-007 and PIN number 16-11-179-006. Again, that was a property that we tried to annex the last time in December that we approved. It's the same thing.
It's a full annexation.
Full annexation. All right. So we've got a motion by Weaver and a second by Johnson. Do we have any further discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call. Johnson.
Yes.
Is it yes? Steers, yes. Frixell?
Yes.
Gates?
Yes.
Weaver, yes. Hoopengarner, yes. So that was ordinance number 20-06-05. The next one is ordinance number 20-06-06. Ordinance annexing certain territory owned by OPM Realty Investments. Same property that we just talked about. This is the actual annexation ordinance. Motion by Johnson, second by Weaver. Any further discussion? Roll call it. Steer. Frexell.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Weaver, yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner, yes.
Yes.
Johnson, yes. Steer started it.
Close it out.
All right.
What's the difference in these two?
The first one is, I've got them all here for you. The
I
first
know,
one
but I just
is,
need to know.
it's an ordinance authorizing us to enter into the agreement. The second one is the actual ordinance annexing them. The third one here, 20-06-07, is an ordinance rezoning that property as R3 multifamily residential for the back 450 some feet of it. Yeah, it is.
Motion to approve.
All right, we've got a motion by Frixell. Do I have a second? Second by Weaver. This is for the zoning, as an R3 multifamily residential on,
This is the same as we did before too.
on the back part of the property. Frixell,
Yes.
Gates,
Yes.
Weaver, yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner, yes.
Yes.
Johnson, yes. Steer, yes. 20-06-08. This is an ordinance rezoning OPM Realty Investments LLC, property located at 115 North Murphy Road as B2, general retail business. That's the front 50 feet, 100 feet, 500 feet.
My understanding is supposed to be about 150, 200 feet.
150 feet for the north 150 feet of the property.
Yeah, we changed anything.
So do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Hoopengarner,
Second.
second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Roll call. Gates.
Yes.
Weavers, yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner, yes. Johnson, yes. Steer, yes. Frixell
Yes.
is a yes. Patrick, I need some help here. The memorandum, does that need to be voted on or just an approval by the board?
You'll have to give me a minute to find that memorandum. Is it regarding the rezoning?
No, this is the annexation. A memorandum of annexation. I think this is what we actually give to the county. It has the legal description and it's just a memorandum. There's no ordinance number on it.
Yeah, the memorandum here, that will be recorded, so it should be executed as well.
But you can vote on it or approve it or what?
Just an approval. We don't need an ordinance number, right?
You don't need an ordinance for your annexation agreements. In the ordinances you just passed allow the annexation to take place. This gets it into the land records of the property.
Okay.
So
I'll entertain a motion to allow the mayor to sign the memorandum of annexation agreement. Motion by Hoopengarner, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Weaver. Weaver's a yes. Hoopengarner's yes. Johnson is a yes.
Yes.
Steer is a yes. Frixell is a yes. Gates?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carried. Next one up is ordinance number 20-06-09, an ordinance authorizing the entry into an annexation agreement for the Prescott property, PIN number 16-05-100-009, commonly referred to as 16216 West Summerfield Road. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion by Hoopengarner, second by Steer. Any further discussion? Roll call it. Deanna, Hoopengarner, yes. Johnson,
Yes.
the yes. Steers, a yes. Frixell,
Yes.
the yes. Gates,
Yes.
yes. Weaver is a yes. Motion passed. 2609. 2610. The next one is an ordinance annexing that same property. So the first one was the agreement to enter into it. The second one is an ordinance annexing it. It's ordinance number 20-06-10. Do I have a motion? Motion by Hoopengarner, second by Steer. Any further discussion? Roll call it. Johnson. Johnson's a yes. Steer's a yes. Frixell,
Yes.
a yes. Gates,
Yes.
a yes. Weaver is a yes. Hoopengarner is a yes. Motion carries. Ordinance number 20-06-11, an ordinance rezoning that property that we just annexed as an R1 residential. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Johnson, second by Frixell. Any further discussion? Roll call. Steers a yes. Frixell,
Yes.
a yes. Gates,
Yes.
a yes. Weaver is a yes. Hoopengarner is a yes. Johnson is a yes. Entertain a motion to approve the signing of the memorandum of annexation agreement for the property that we just annexed.
So moved.
A motion by Frixell, second by Steer. Any further discussion? Roll call it. Frixell
Yes.
is a yes. Gates,
Yes.
a yes. Weaver is a yes. Hoopengarner is a yes. Johnson is a yes. Steer is a yes. Motion carried. Where are we now? 12? All right, the next one is an ordinance authorizing the entry into an annexation agreement for the Weaver property, pin number 12-33-100-002. Commonly
moved.
known as 2830 Eden Road. Was that Gates? Approve that. Second by Frixell. Any further discussion? Roll call. Gates
Yes.
is a yes. Weaver is an abstain. Hoopengarner is a yes.
Yes.
Johnson is a yes.
Yes.
Steer is a yes. Frixell
Yes.
is a yes. Motion carried. That was 20-06-12. This one is 20-06-13. And this is the ordinance annexing certain territory owned by Weaver, pin number 12-33-100-002.
Full annexation too.
It's a pre, but the wording is annexation. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Frixell, second by Hoopengarner. Any further discussion? Roll call is Weaver abstain.
Yes.
Hoopengarner's a yes. Johnson's a yes. Steer's a yes. Frixell is a
Yes.
yes. Gates
Yes.
is a yes. That was ordinance number 20-06-13. One more, 20-06-14. This is ordinance zoning the property at 2030 North Eden Road as agricultural. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Johnson, second
Second.
by Steer. Any further discussion? Roll call. Hoopengarner's a yes. Johnson's a yes. Steer is a yes. Frixell
Yes.
is a yes. Gates is a
Yes.
yes. And Weaver's an abstain. Final one is a motion to approve the signing of the memorandum of annexation agreement for the said property?
So moved.
Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by Frixell. Any further discussion? Roll call. Johnson.
Yes.
Johnson is a yes. Steer is a yes. Frixell.
Yes.
Yes. Gates.
Yes.
Yes. Weaver is an abstain.
Yes.
Garner is a yes. Is that everybody? Yes. Okay, that takes care of all of the annexations. I probably should have told you ahead of time that all of these went before the Planning Commission and were approved by them, and they gave a recommendation to the village board to approve them all. And there are findings of facts available for all of them.
Mr. Mayor, I got one request, and that's that we can have copies of all of those ordinances sent our way.
I've made copies of them all. As soon as I sign them and she seals them, they're all yours.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
And you already, your office already have the findings of facts and the recommendations.
Excellent. Thank you.
Did you have anything else for us, Patrick?
No, we'll just wait until you get to the ordinance violations. Essentially, we just have one on file now. We went ahead and pursued that, the one we discussed last week
All right, go ahead.
with the noise.
Tell us what is happening on that, if anything.
Well, nothing. We've got it on file. We're waiting on a court date. Good news is we did find a statute that we're at least going to try and get your attorney's fees paid for out of this as well. So that could be a good thing. It's not one we've tried before, so we can't make you any promises, but it's certainly a possible upside for the village. So.
All right, very good. But, that is moving forward. That's the ordinance violation that the subject was fined and did not pay his fine. So we're moving forward with pursuing a court action against the subject. So, all right, thank you, Patrick. Water, what do you have for us? You're muted, Tony.
Gotta hit that button.
There you go.
Approved one check in the amount of $100 from the water escrow account. That's it.
All righty. Do you have the water report there? There's,
I think the only thing in there is I think there's a water report in here. That's only the second meeting of the month, though, isn't it?
okay.
The only thing in here was the escrow check stuff.
All right. Moving on to buildings and grounds.
Do we want to have a cleanup day this year?
Question is, do we want to have a cleanup day this year? Always in the past, we've always done it in conjunction with the citywide garage sales. They did not have the citywide garage sales this year because of the COVID-19.
Yeah. No, they just went ahead and picked up on the garage.
Oh, okay.
That's what G&O agreed on. We didn't want to dump down there because people dump tires.
What's your recommendation? That we just allow people will set a date, tell EDC what date it is that people will be allowed to put extra stuff out?
Somebody called, I don't know who it was or who they even called now. Somebody asked me about it. But, I only had one call. Yeah, I'd say that just call EDC and tell them what's the day we're gonna clean up.
Let's pick a day.
Rabies shots or something.
Have they called?
I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything either.
Let's see, they pick up on Mondays.
Yes.
Yes.
Shall we set June 29th as,
There's not much. How much notice is that?
well, we can put it in the journal or in the Shopper and the Glassford Gazette next week. And then
That would be it.
that would be it.
1 week.
You want to do it on July 6th? Instead, that gives us more time to advertise it.
I think that would be better, Fred. That would give us more time, let the residents know.
I agree with more time, but that's a holiday weekend if people are out of
Yeah, that'd
town.
be hard on even the garbage guys, because they usually don't pick up till the following day anyway.
July 13th?
Well, July 6th, they'll pick up. That's not a holiday.
Right.
No, but it's right after holiday weekend. People might be gone and not have a chance to clean out.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have Friday routes, if they would be picking up Saturday, you know what I mean, if the domino effect would still
Yeah,
make it
It
rougher
won't
on them.
affect us because of the fourth following.
Yeah, it won't affect us, and just maybe rougher on the drivers.
All
I
right.
would say 13th.
All right, let's set the cleanup day for Monday, July 3rd, and we will advertise it 2 weeks. July 13th, I'm sorry, July 13th. And we will put an ad in the paper, letting people know, and we'll put it on our website that will be cleanup days for the village on July 13th.
And
Sounds good.
just put that notice in the shopper that certain things they just put out.
Yep,
Bigger than a car.
we'll just put our standard notice in.
And
No televisions, no hazardous materials, no paints, no.
And we'll do it the first 2 weeks in July, so we come out like the 1st and the 8th.
Yep. That'll work. All right. Anything else under buildings and grounds?
That's a couple of trees that need to be taken down. And so I'll be getting a hold of Busker, get their price and that, bring it up next week.
Sounds like you need to get a hold of chainsaw.
All right.
I can do it. You'll help.
All right.
After the meeting.
I got the chainsaw.
Anything else under committee reports?
That's not hard.
Hearing none. We'll move on. Update on a COVID-19 response. Nothing new to report. We are still under phase 3 of the governor's recovery plan. We are on track to move into stage 4 June 26th, unless things change. Update on the tip proposal for the coffee can. You heard tonight that that is continuing to move forward. The money was put in escrow. They'll be closing on the property June 19th, and you'll start seeing some. They're working on getting us a plat for the site plan for the property to be approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and then it'll come before the board. That's about all I know.
Work can be done on that prior to that, I'm assuming, correct?
Certain work can, yeah. The BDD boundaries and TIF boundaries have all been completed. All the legal descriptions have been sent to the TIF attorneys and have been approved, so we are moving forward with that. In your packet, you'll see a proposed timeline where there will be a public meeting held on July 21st. We will then submit the draft plan on the July 24th. And then there'll be another public hearing set. We'll have to mail out notices to the taxpayers that have property that will be involved in the TIF and give them an opportunity to comment. And then there'll be a joint board review in August, first public hearing in September, second public hearing on the 10th, and then Tuesday, the 22nd, another public hearing, and then the final establishment of the TIF district will be October 6th, if this timeline holds. So keep that timeline handy. We'll be referring to it over the next several months. Update on the status of a village administrator. For those that are here, I passed out the applications that we did receive. We received 3 applications in front of you. You'll have their resumes. As you can tell, 2 out of the 3 are out of the area. And we're trying to set up interviews with them over the next several weeks. So we will be meeting with at least 2 of them, probably July sometime when they get in the area. One is from North Carolina and one is from Peru. So that information is in your packet.
Peru country or town?
Peru, Illinois.
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 Something that we need to start considering is I was told by our water clerk that she will be leaving in October. And so we need to start thinking about replacing her so that we can have some time for a new person to learn the position before she leaves us.
Yeah, like immediately.
So we will be advertising for the position in the paper. So review the job description and the notice. And by the next meeting, we'll have that information ready to approve. And then we'll put that in the paper and start the process of hiring somebody.
Full-time position?
20 hours a week, part-time.
20? Oh, no.
We already heard the update on the ordinance violation. No update on communication with businesses. Nothing new has come out. I have passed on some emails that I've gotten for businesses to apply for some grants. The electrical aggregation was supposed to be last week. It got pushed back to June 17th. At our last meeting, you guys authorized our attorney and myself to act on behalf of the village in reference to approving our aggregation numbers. So, Patrick, are you still on for the June 17th?
Tomorrow?
No, June 17th. Oh, that is tomorrow. Patrick, are you on for tomorrow's Zoom call with Good Energy?
I can check. I think Bill might have scheduled himself on that one, but I'll take a look and see. One of us can be on it, I'm sure.
All right, it'll be 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Good.
Tomorrow, yes. All right, so we will know kind of what our rates are going to be set at tomorrow. I have not heard yet how they're coming out, but it's a bidding process, and we'll let you know what those rates are. Our next board meeting, and we don't have a public hearing next time, so our next board meeting will be July 7th? 7th. Is there anything else to come before the board? Anyone have any questions or comments? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Fred, what did you hear on, you know who outbid us?
I'll call you.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thursday. Not gonna happen. Well, Friday. Oh, yeah,